And after some time, I saw the little food that is unpicked. I sent it 2 more soldiers in order to collect this food out of here. And while ants was going to take that food, we got a new big obstacle that we have to overcome. What I did, I sent all workers except queen worker to fight out. I'm absolutely sure that we're gonna be winner. And what I thought is actually came true. We destroyed the enemy brood within a minute. And then we got the food. We were so surprised, and I sent all my army direct to the food in order to collect this and get it to the back of our nest.
Proceed swiftly, my little ants.
As you can see, 140 broods arrived with a great power. I called it power. So then I decided to generate 4 more expensive 90 cost ants and decided to free up the 33 workers and keep the soldiers inside of the gate. As you can see, we have an uncompleted mission is survive incoming attacks, which is going to be so brutal. I decided to send all broods to fight out with these enemies. But quickly, these enemies became our victim. Just because we have a 90 cost expensive ants and a great investment. But one thing is very nice is that the dead brood victims became our food. After some short time, I noticed that we are filling our food storages successfully, and we got up to 500 food, which means we are still keeping our food storages sustainable. Our condition is very well. And then 90 cost ants started to attacking us, which means we didn't move anywhere until we don't win them. The big hottest war started. Then, when war started, I decided to take this wall, make a structure that if we will survive this war, I'm going to build more broods with the food that scientists will feed us, if they will. We also survived this biggest incoming attack, and I didn't want to spend the 500 food which we only left with. So we started to waiting scientists. More tasks scientists are giving us, more challengeable it became. In order to not show exact number of my soldiers, I decided to only move part number of my ants to collect the food. That we can maybe lie to the scientist. The food that scientists provided us saved almost all our life. But the problem is, some internal attacks are started to coming. Our army directly started to go in the objective and started to take them down so fast. And now it is time to protect the queen and get rid of all obstacles. But the good part is that obstacles now becoming our sweetie food, which is fulfilling our food storages. So I quickly started to generate 3 more ants, with knowing that I have to keep my food storage more than 500 food. And as you can see, the not strongest army is still arriving. When it arrived, I started to attack it with entire army that was coming to do their job. What I did is actually I set it free all workers and then directed it to the first group. When I killed that obstacle, it was little obstacle that left that we have to kill. And we did it within a second. It is time to protect the gates. because it's the gate which we have to protect. The gate where enemies are entering. When I noticed that we didn't kill the big threat, it's running from us, I started to directing all my army to take it down. We did it within a second. When we did it, scientists saw it and still started to attack us without feeding. And then we also started to attack. We thought that we're gonna be a winner. When my food started to reducing from 500, I started to worrying about it. And I saw the big problem, that if we will not win this problem, we might lose. But we did it. And now we still have 423 capacity of food, which means we will might survive 2 more attacks. But if scientists will feed us, we still can't see any food that might come from scientists. And we still see that we didn't completely survive the incoming attacks mission, which means attacks will be realized again. Suddenly the attacks are realized by the very strongest horrible EST
Colorful, deadly beetles.
obstacles that we took down within a second. This was a disgusting war because we suddenly started losing our food so fast, with the hope that the scientists will give a food for us. And we completely lost our food. But the great thing
Where did it go?
is that
Be careful, my queen. I'm not finished with you yet.
suddenly they started to send the biggest threats. And then I decided to direct 9 workers to collect the food and started to attack the fastest spiders, but very weak spiders. The great thing is that everything became our food, and we still survived it. The reason why you should watch this video is because we go through all obstacles with no problem, because we planned it well, because I was failed dozens of times. And now I understand the technique of scientists. And when we collected the food, I decided to keep the food above 500 and not spend it too much yet. When food become more than 600, I decided to generate 2 more big ants and also protect the gate. Faster, we started losing our food storage again that I started to worry about. But there was nothing to worry about. One con is that the enemy that didn't become our food. But the great thing is that scientists started to feed us now. And we quickly started to collecting our food. Food which will help us directly generate more army. When I saw the food that our brood is collecting, I decided to generate more defenders that cost 170. But I didn't stop generating 90 cost great ants that are saving our lives. When I realized that this was the end of food that was provided by scientists, I collected all my army back and I took them all back. The reason why these spiders are jumped out from this home gates, the nest gates, because that was a scientist who planned it all out. But this wasn't a big obstacle for us. I kept my food more than 500 because of incoming obstacles are becoming so hard.
Perhaps a praying mantis next.
Now we started to attacking these biggest monsters. Monsters that are so strong in real life, even capable of killing little mouses. And within a minute we coped with it, and they became our food. Scientists got more jealous about us, but there's nothing to do with a strong army. And then I decided to call back all my 11 workers to the kingdom and deleted the watermark of the second group. And I was still waiting these two big broods. And now is the biggest war started, and I'm pretty sure that we will do something about it. But the problem was that nobody of my ants made what I said. Our numbers started to fall down faster than I even realized, and I thought that we're gonna fail, but there was the biggest chance that we're gonna win. After we win, I took care of these two unborn brood to be generated by 11 workers. But I still kept my army on the gates.
Prickly little beast.
Our food storage is coming up because we defeated the biggest enemy and started attacking these beasts, and we started to feel like we have a power. Let's see which kind of obstacle waits us in the future. While it was a fight, I realized that our two unborn brood started to grow, which was a really big problem for our enemies. Our enemies quickly became our victims, which is so nice.
My, that's a big whip spider.
Now we see a biggest spider that is coming to our nest, and we started to attack it. Let's see what will happen. Spider suddenly started to panic. We were so strong and powerful. While war was about to be hot, I realized that we even have a power to kill this beautiful big spider. Actually ugly. And after defeating that, we finally got a food that we can take to the nest.
There. All set in your new home. Grow quickly, my little ants. We have lots of work to do.
And as you see, scientists even tells that we have a lot of work to do, which means we have to be careful. And first of all, we have to generate the biggest or just expand our food storages for further attacks that will be caused by scientists. I suddenly started to think about after and grow
for the final experiment.
our ants. And finally, that lady ant scientist is arrived and saved our life, which means
Very well.
now we're going to collect the foods. But the best part is we now finally completed survive the incoming attack mission. What I did next is I directed 11 worker
I'm
ants
afraid we've ran out of time.
to
It
get
doesn't
this
matter
done.
if the nest isn't perfect. Run the experiment, then clear out the specimens and bleach the equipment.
Yes, I know.
After when I realized that there's nothing to do outside, I
think we should
directed
have a
all
word about
ants
your
to the
conduct
gate.
around the laboratory.
And as you can see, I see that
What was that?
Nothing. Starting the experiment.
the war starts
Let me
now.
know when you have a result.
The man scientist is arguing with the lady that we should push,
This is it.
which means we should
The winner will have the
be very
privilege of
careful
joining you
about
for the
that.
ultimate test, the real final experiment. The loser will be relegated to the waste disposal.
As you can see, I see a lot of second
The former carriers are
Ants.
connected. Let the war commence!
coming to attack us. Eliminate the enemy queen. Get an ant past center of the map. Receive source drops. What I decided to do is to get completed everything, every plan that I did before getting outside. Or I absolutely knew that these ants are going to come and attack us. After some couple of time, I see that 11 ants are going to do their job so well that I was even confident about. When they done, I decided to set them free inside of the nest and start to attacking these enemy broods. I will make all broods to become in one right here. But the problem is another broods started to attack because they were controlled by scientists. As you can see, the scientist's hand is here.
Raptors finally meet.
But I don't think that we will be able to survive
I wonder which is more
this
effective.
violence. It's gonna be a biggest loss for us. But we didn't give up. We start pushing instead of falling back. We fall forward. The problem was that our food is almost over. But they just started. So I decided to fall back and stay in the nest. Wait until these enemy broods will arrive. And because of our food storage started to fall down, I was so curious about our further win. Quickly, 100 army became in one here, and we will let other broods to come. And started to coming under scientists' control.
Our raptors are beating back their counterparts. Victory seems within their grasp. But what's this? Could it be the almighty hand of God?
And now we're attacking them all. With a zero food, which means if we will lose 115 army, now is 13, even 10, we will lose everything.
Excellent progress, my raptors. Strike at your nemesis. There can be only one.
I saw how scientists was feeding the red ants. And I was jealous about that. And I also started to attack. Without stop. The fact that scientists started to feed that ants was a big lesson for me that in the next time I will generate biggest food space, more than 4,000, I'll keep that food in me. We would generate more than 10,000 foods if we wouldn't spend at all. But we would be very, very weak. And this was our last ant. I quickly started to thinking about lose and how these broods will be to win. If scientists are not gonna give us second chance, we definitely failed. As you can see, the enemy ants are arriving and
Quickly, my little raptors. You wouldn't want to be caught by the
taking us down. As you can see, the scientists turned into the devil. And unfortunately, we will lose everything now.
Yes, good, yes. Be careful, my queen. I'm not finished with you yet.
When I see that 184-86 army is generated, I directed them to fight with these broods. And they suddenly quickly started to coming over to fight. And I was absolutely sure now that we can make it all happen. This was the biggest and difficult period of our life. What I decided to do next is direct all my workers and fighters to fight these ants out. Reason why we don't have even a food is because these ants under scientists. So we decided to attack. Now very strong and seriously. The problem was that they had trap jaw or just trap ants. Not only that, mortal ants. That was very big win for them. Fight was about hot, and I started realize that we're doing it. When I realized that, I directed all my ants inside of the nest, and I saw that if we were gonna be winner, it's 90 army that's going to get inside the nest. We started pushing so hard, even scientists can see it. We successfully did everything, and now it is time to attack. And attack. Because we don't have any chance with the zero food. We would be dead if scientists wouldn't give us the second chance of generation. We got only 37 broods left, and we will attack with 30, even 29 broods. I'm so thankful about if we can be winner. But suddenly I see that they're not generating army and started being motivated. But when I saw that a lot of big ants are coming, I again lost motivation. But the great part was that now we have a food.
Oh dear. Could our colony be in trouble?
We quickly needed to find out a queen and kill the queen faster to be the favorite ants of my scientist, which is very successful.
Pathetic, useless ants. Perhaps this New colony.
As you can see, folks, we won,
Research subject.
and now we survived. This was a success. So thank you guys for coming and watching. I'll wait you in the next video. Goodbye.